Laracon, aloha. I've been very excited to do that, so can we do it again? Laracon, aloha. From the book, The Alchemist, every moment we live will soon be a memory. I am at the beginning of a memory I want to remember forever. This will soon be a memory. A little disclaimer before I start, just so we're all on the same page, but I am not a Laravel developer. So this talk is going to cover nothing technical. Instead, this will cover stories about you and stories about me. And all of the quotes and screenshots and stories I gathered are from things that you all shared online. At points, I will get quite vulnerable with my story. I hope you receive it with love and kindness, and I truly hope you like it. Because this is my love letter to Laravel, to the Laravel community, the village. This is my love letter to you. My story begins in Hawaii. My mom is from there. I was born there. I lived in a 400 square foot house in my grandmother's backyard with my mom, dad, and siblings. My family of 8, we moved around a lot, from beaches to snow, back to beaches. And although we had to say goodbye to good friends and move on to make new ones, I always had my mom, dad, and 5 siblings. My first village. That's me and my mom on the stairs of that 400 square foot house. I grew up, I married up, and then my daughter was born, and she was immediately taken from me. Born 6 weeks early, her lungs were not fully developed yet. They put her on oxygen, an IV, and a feeding tube. My sweet baby was in a plastic box, and all I wanted to do was to get to her, to protect my village. She is now a thriving 2-year-old, and she is my world. And then 14 months later, my sweet son was born. I delivered him myself, I put him straight on my own chest, and I never let go. He is my world. And this is my most important village. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Kapehe. You can call me Cap for short. You can find me on X at Kapehe_OK. I am the developer community manager at Sanity.io. It is a content operating system. I'm the proud mother to 2 perfect little babies, and I am married to the sweetest man. And we are building chrisandcap.com in Laravel, of course. And I'm proud to be here on this stage. I am proud of my career in web development. I'm proud of the friends that I've made along the way, many of those sitting in this room or watching online. But I haven't always been proud. I was once a token hire. They needed a diversity hire, and they got their girl, and then proceeded to bully and harass me daily. I was once my manager's scapegoat. Every deadline he missed, every project that failed was always my fault. I was once being sexually harassed at work, and when I reported the incidences, I was told I was being too sensitive and he's just having fun. Those moments made me feel small. Those moments made me feel alone. But let me tell you the story about how I met you. 2011, the year the Laravel village began. So the first lines of code were actually written the year before in 2010 until this beautiful day in June 2011 when Taylor made it open source and announced it to the world. On day 1, the repo got 4 GitHub stars. Taylor probably felt very proud. Today, it sits at 78,000 GitHub stars, and I know he is proud. And that is the beginning of a series of moments that had to happen for me to be here. 2012. In 2012, Eric Barnes starts Laravel News to report on all things Laravel. Laravel, the framework that isn't even a year old at this point. This has grown into a great resource for Laravel developers to stay up to date. And this is what it looked like back in the day. It looks very different now. And during this time, I am cruising at 35,000 feet daily. I am 2 years into my flight attendant career. All right, this should be fun. I get to travel the world. But little did I know, every trip you do is with a different crew. So you've made a friend, but there's like a 50% chance you'll never connect again. Oh, but we travel to foreign countries. And we never leave the plane. Deplane, reboard, fly back. On to the next crew, on to the next flight. And I feel lonely at this job. In 2013, Ian Landsman mentioned to Taylor, we should have a Laravel event. And in February of 2013, the very first Laracon happened. There are some people you may recognize who spoke at that first Laracon. Taylor Otwell, of course, Jeffrey Way, Eric Barnes, Phil Sturgeon, Dale Rees, just to name a few. It was held in Washington, D.C., and about 90 people attended. Look at us now. As developers, we know the struggle of learning something new. Googling for hours, 50 tabs open, trying to piece it all together. Jeffrey Way was on a mission to solve that problem. And in 2013, we got Laracast. Laracast is for the PHP, and more specifically, the Laravel developer, where if you are working with Laravel, is peace on earth. If you find a code snippet, you know it's going to work for your Laravel project. And this is what it looked like back in the day. There was some pushback on this idea, though. This can't work. It's only for the Laravel developer. This can't scale. But these testimonials from 2013 are proof that Laracast had a chance. I really like Ian's. Laracast is totally off the hook. Agreed. And boy, did it scale. The list of topics and instructors goes on and on. Most of us in this room have learned from Laracast. 2013, big year for the Laravel Village. I'm still at 35,000 feet daily. Okay year for me. So I'm going to jump a little bit in the timeline. One day at a time, one improvement at a time, Laravel is steadily growing, and I am steadily shrinking. 2017, it was a big year for me. For me, 2017 started off as the year of chaos, is what I like to call it. The year that a few instances broke me. It was in this year that one of the passengers on one of my flights attempted to strangle me. She was intoxicated, and as a cabin crew, we decided we should cut her off, and I was the messenger. She didn't take it very well, and jumps at me, wraps her hands around my neck, demanding more. And then, just a couple of weeks later, another passenger on one of my flights got irate with the passenger in front of him for reclining their chair. He stands up, he slaps the woman in the face, and immediately us flight attendants intervened. He became very upset, pushed me against the flight deck door, screaming in my face, threatening to kill me. The pilots heard all of it and made an emergency landing. Little, maybe unknown fact, when you're in the air, it's federal law. Threatening to kill a flight attendant in the air is not taken lightly. And this man immediately made the no-fly list. And I knew I had to make a change. I had had enough. In September of 2017, I enrolled into a coding boot camp. I was 28, and it was the only career change I could make without having to go back to a full university. It cost me $13,000, which was a fortune to a flight attendant making $28,000. And I found web development. I was in a cohort of about 30 people, all of us confused at for loops, arrays, and why do we start counting at 0? All of us tired, yet all of us doing this together. And I felt for the first time in my professional life a part of a small village. We were building projects together, celebrating each other, and to continue our learning after graduation, we were given a small handful of resources. Scotch.io, a coding tutorial website, was one of those. Little did I know what that was going to mean to me. This is Scotch back in the day. "2017 got me one step further from loneliness, but I like to think of 2017 as getting one step closer to you." 2019. They say it takes a village. But that phrase doesn't capture how strong a real village can feel. A safe village. A supportive village. And by 2019, Laravel had built a village where you want to gather around the campfire. It had built a stable village. I believe it's the most underrated aspect of a village, especially in web development. If a village is stable, members of the community feel confident to set up shop and build. And you built. You set up shop. So many projects and packages have come out of this village. And in 2019, we got 2 big additions. Most of you are probably using one of the 2. It was the year of the Laraspa. In August, we got inertia from Jonathan. I write React. This is so cool. And Caleb Porzio was inspired to make Livewire. Notice the time on this post is 10:21 p.m. for this post. Only 2 hours and 31 minutes after this, we got a demo of it from Caleb. Look at the joy in Caleb's face. An enduring village breeds greatness. And today it is difficult to find a Laravel app that is not using Inertia or Livewire. "2020, the year the world held its breath. The Laravel village did not, and neither did I. Web development has been historically male-dominated. There has to be intentionality to bring women and underrepresented groups together and into the village. Zuzana did that with Larabels. In diversity, there is beauty, and Zuzana has brought that feeling of welcoming that is intentional and kind. It is a beautiful thing that she has done with Larabels. And one of us in this audience is here because of Larabels. And I landed my dream job in a safe and supportive village, the work village that I had been searching for. This was the year I started at Sanity. And this is from when I hit 4 years at Sanity just last month. I am finally in a good work village. "2021, the world is still holding its breath. My village did not." We all know Laravel's #1 fan is Abigail. She has been there since the beginning. She's been there since before the beginning. And I believe I know who Laravel's #2 fan is. Chris Sev, the founder of Scotch.io and the owner of much Laravel swag. He's so chipper. That Scotch.io spark sparked into my most important decision. I married Laravel's #2 fan. A good year for Cap and for the Sevs. I'm finally in a good personal village. And then in 2022, I met you, the Laracon village. Seeing someone you love something else, you get quite curious. I mean, how could I not be when he was whispering Laracon for life in his sleep? That's true. The person who brought me into this community had, for the entirety of our relationship, been in JavaScript land. That all changed in 2022 when he returned. Want to know what he was doing at 6 a.m. when he posted this? He was a happy dad. Returning to happy land. You all welcomed him back with open arms. There was no, I told you so, or we don't want you back. It was only love. And something to call out here, Simeon, my coworker at Sanity, who doesn't use Laravel, knows how special this village is. I wonder if Adam ever made the change. "2023, the world is healing and we're gathering again. For 3 years, the world only connected online. That deeper connection was missing. In 2023, 800 of you gathered. I wanted to be at that Laracon so bad. But I was building my most important village, snuggling my almost Irish twins. "2024. This was the year you met me. I had posted that the Laravel community was one of my favorites. And although I didn't use it, some of my closest friends came from this community. So I did the Laravel bootcamp. I enjoyed it very much. But the love I got from this post alone made me feel welcomed, cozy even. It's scary to join a new village, but Laravel never made me feel like an outsider. And these were the smiling faces that welcomed me in. Sam Huckabee, Jason Beggs, Nuno, Marcel, Michael Dorinda, Samuel Robertson, Taylor and Abigail Otwell, and many more. And these were the words that welcomed me in. I love Michael Ward's comment, nothing but sweethearts here. It's so true. I am in good villages. Over 13 years, Laravel has been doing something right. You all have been doing something right. It takes the right kind of people to build a village this strong. And there are hundreds of more moments that are missing from this timeline, from my story and from yours. Every single one of you belongs on this timeline. You built this. This is your village. And that's from this Laracon. Imagine a flame. Put it right here. That flame is you. You are that flame. You know when it grows, and you know when it fades. My personal village, my work village, and my friendship village. All those flames are bonfires right now. But it wasn't always. Bad villages can smother your flame. They did to me. A good village will fuel your flame. It gives us no choice but to grow. We have to be able to evaluate our current villages, personal, work, friendship, to determine if we are in bad villages. And more importantly, if we should find better ones. So how do we confirm we are in a good village? I found a simple way to always make sure I am in the right village with the right people. Because every interaction, every relationship leaves an imprint on our well-being and our state of mind. To confirm you are in the right or wrong village, ask yourself this one question. What does my flame do? When you give feedback at work and your ideas are dismissed, what does your flame do? When you're out to dinner with friends, what does your flame do? You're here at Laracon. What is this doing for your flame? In all of these, is your flame growing or is it fading? I'm at my first Laracon. I have a bonfire right now. I kind of mentioned this at the beginning, but a company I used to work for years and years ago, my manager was very possessive of me. I would ask for growth opportunities, even show interest in other departments, and he'd always put a halt to it saying, "No, you need me. Without me, you cannot grow." I felt stuck. Yet he would take credit for all my successes, but if there was a failure, my name was written all over it. My flame was shrinking. I am now surrounded in my current job by people who, when I have a success, tag me on Slack for the whole company to see. My mistakes are learning opportunities, and my wins are celebrations. My flame grows every day. Many of you probably don't know this about me, but this is my second marriage. My first one ended in divorce. It's painful to go through that, to walk away from something where your flame struggles daily, unsure if it will ever return. But it did, and my flame burns brighter with Chris. I found a village, the start to my most important village, that keeps my flame dancing. And here at Laracon, my flame is fueled by all of you. I have found good villages. Not just found, I searched for them. I needed them. So after you have found yourself in a good village, you've asked yourself, what does my flame do? It's dancing. You've decided you're in a good place. Now you have a duty. Your job is to help grow that village, to do your part. But how? I have a second question for you. How can I grow another's flame? The person on your left, the person on your right, the people that you'll talk to in the hallway track. How can you grow their flames? It can be something as simple as a smile or a hi or a yay online. Do that and the village building takes care of itself. I watch all of you growing each other's flames in this village. So many of the stories that I've already shared were people sharing their flame to make other lives better. When the internet was all Laravel versus React, which one's better, Aaron Francis cleared the air with one of the clearest videos I've ever seen on what Laravel is and what React is. A lot of flames were sparked that day. Laravel devs understood React devs understood Laravel devs. 2 villages' flames grew. Josh's story is one for the history books. He landed his dream job at Laravel and gave back to the village with 35 videos in only 60 days. Hundreds of thousands of flames have grown in knowledge from these 35 videos. And I'm sure he's got many more to share. Rissa has spoken at Laracon EU, Laracon AU, Laracon IN, Laracon US, and many more, fueling flames all around the world and encouraging others to be brave and to submit themselves. What does my flame do? And how can I grow another's flame? A village depends on you. Find a village that makes your flame dance. Be genuine and find ways to grow another's flame. Build your village. And I want to end on this quote from Taylor. Everyone wants to belong to a group. Everyone wants to have a sense of belonging. And I wanted to create that sort of atmosphere where everyone could feel like friends and really work to build something cool in the Laravel ecosystem from day one. Thank you for taking me in. Thank you for growing my flame.
Come on. This might be a tough one. Good job.
Thank you.
What you did in making a change takes a lot of bravery. What is your encouragement to people who feel stuck, who feel alone, and who feel like, boy, that seems like a lot of work?
I'll touch on a couple stories that I talked about, but the sexual harassment one, that one was really tough. I won't go into detail on what was happening, but when you report to someone that you trust and they just keep telling you you're being too sensitive, it's fine, he's just having fun, that hurts. But I feel like in web development as a whole, Laravel community, on all of the tech communities, they put a lot of emphasis on making sure people feel safe. And so if you feel stuck, if you feel like, oh, it will never get better, fight for it, search for it, because you need it. You need that good village.
First time, but not last time. Everybody, Kapehe. You did.